And we're calling you this morning because you're a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. God, for waking us up this morning, for watching over us show the night into a new dawn. This morning, God, we ask you to cover us. Oh God, cover us. In you we are safe, Lord. In you we are secure. In you we can find peace. Because you are the Prince of Peace. Father, this morning I lift the entire Real FM family before you. I lift Mr. Donald before you this morning, God. I ask you to cover him. I lift Gabe him. Father, I lift Maxine this morning, cover her. Oh God, Kira this morning, cover her in a very special way. Nabella, Lord, cover her. Dugo, Lord, cover him. Mr. Pierre, in a very special way, Father, cover him. This morning we pray for Brother Rodney. We pray for Brother Beving. Sister Calling, Lord. Oh God, we pray for Sister Kenro. Sister Annette. Oh God, Miss Patterson, Lord. Drumstick, Lord. In a very special way, Father. Oh, Miss Wendy and Rufin, Father. Oh God, the entire family of Real FM, Lord. We, Father, we give you praise, Lord. We give you thanks. Thanks you for another day, God. God, all the praise, all the honor, all the glory. Oh, due to your matchless name this morning. We lift all the listeners of Real FM before you this morning, Father. Cover them, Lord, in a very special way, God. Oh God, your word declares a house divided by itself cannot stand. We come against every division in our nation, Father. And we pray for unity. Ever conscious of God, we aspire, build, and advance as one people. Oh God, Grenada, Carrico, and Pitney, Matnick, Lord. We ask for your favor over this beautiful land. This morning, Father, we lift every farmer before you. We ask you to cover them. We ask you to protect them. We ask you to grant them your favor, Father. We lift your name, God, this morning on high. The name that is above every name this morning. God, we surrender our lives before you afresh today, God. And we ask you to have your way, God. Oh God, we pray your anointing over this beautiful land. We pray for safety in our land, God. Oh God, all the motorists this morning, oh, whatever they are driving, God, we bring every driver before you this morning, God. And we pray for safety on the road this morning. Those in the air, God, we pray for them this morning. Those on the sea, Lord, the fishermen, Lord. Oh, we pray for them this morning. So, God, we ask you, God, that your anointing be over every farmer this morning. And we bring the agricultural program before you this morning. We pray a blessing over this program this morning, God. And God will be able to get knowledge, Lord, that would help us, Lord, to be able to have food security for this beautiful land that you have blessed us with. So, Father, have your way in our midst today, God. We give you praise. Thank you for the sunshine this morning, because love shine brighter than the morning sun this morning. Take full control, God. We just surrender this beautiful land and the people of Grenada, Carrico, and Pitney before you. Have your way, God. We give you all the praise. Give you all the glory and all the honor, God. We pray for every single person to shine for you this morning. Every single Grenadian, Lord, to shine as the sun, God, today, God. This favor we ask in no other name. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen and amen.
Amen.
Bless you,
Amen.
brother.
Amen. Brother Randy, how you doing today?
Well, again, humble. Had a wonderful night at Real FM. I want to thank you and the entire staff. And it's really a joy to be there on a Wednesday night.
You know, one of these nights I must come and do the program, you know. Haha. You'd love that, wouldn't you?
Well, you know, we need all hands on deck. Unity is strength.
Don't worry, one of these days I'll surprise you. I'll just call you and say, Bandy, stay home. I got some work to do at the station. And then I'll give you a gospel program. You'll be like, damn, is that really the guy?
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
How the children?
They are fine, you know, getting themselves ready for school already.
No, not those children. The other children, the other 6.
Oh, they are sick. They are good for the time, man. Yeah, you know, you have to take care of them.
Yeah. All right, my brother. Well, take care and have a great day.
Yeah, man. Blessings, man, and you have a wonderful day.
Okay, great. Bye-bye. It's real. It's 91. Good morning, Grenada. It's Agricultural Thursday. Yes, Agricultural Thursday. Can you beat? Oh, man. It is so wonderful to have another Thursday in this wild and wonderful world that God has given us to live. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the WORLD.
This is Real Xprssions Agriculture Thursday, only on 91.9 Real FM. From the soil to your soul, we're growing real. From the mountain to the sea, farmers working endlessly, planting pride in every row. Grenada's roots forever grow. Sunrise brings the harvest call, banana nutmeg feeding all. We salute the ones who feed with every hand and every seed. We grow real, grow Grenada, part of the land, real farmer flavor. Tune in, feel the nation rise. It's Thursday, we're proud and wise. On 91.9 Real FM style. It's Agriculture Thursday, Grenadian vibe. In the garden, in the field, real stories now revealed. Voices strong with tales to share of heritage, love and country care. Let the young and old unite, real expression shining bright. Agriculture is the way to build tomorrow from today. We grow real, grow Grenada, part of the land, real farmer flavor. Tune in, feel the nation rise. It's Thursday, agri proud and wise. On 91.9 Real FM style. It's Agriculture Thursday, Grenadian vibe. Soil to soul, we strong like lava. On the air, our stories thrive. Agriculture keeps us alive. Real FM, where the roots go deep. Agriculture Thursday, we sow and reap. Real expression on 919 Real FM. Unfiltered truth, cultural pride, and the power of radio to amplify voices in Grenada. Whoa! Tune in on the spice side, hear the airwaves free read. On the radio see. St. George this, the people them a shout. Real expression now hide, let your heart pour out. Microphone to the heavens, the signal strong and clear. Voices of the voicelessly oppressed, the sincere. Real FM are the vessel, your message fill the air. Speak your truth, grenade away your heart there. Real expression, real connection. 91.9 the righteous reflection. From the hills to the harbor, hear the nation sing. Real FM the sound when make freedom ring. Real expression, real connection. 91.9 the righteous reflection. From the hills to the harbor, hear the nation sing. Real FM the sound when make freedom ring. Fisherman chant the blues, farmer hymn the rain. Mama shares her wisdom, use them chant for change. The radio no silence the struggles we face. Amplify the joy, the pain, the grace. Nutmeg in the rhythm, cocoa in the bass. Real FM hold the mirror to the spice all face. Reel up the truth select and let the people speak. 91.9 no weak heart, no meek. From Carriacou shores to the Crater Lake beat. Real expression loud and the nation loves. Lyrics are a temple, the DJ is the priest. Every song a sermon, every word released. No censorship, no chains, just the soul laid bare. Grenada's heartbeat pulsing through the FM here. When the storm take the island, the signal still repair. Real FM 91.9, the sound of prayer. Real expression, real vibration. 91.9, the soul of the nation. Keep the frequency alive, no hesitation. Grenada voice rise.
Good morning, drums. How you doing, girl? Thank you, darling. How are you? How was your night? Do you think I could do that? All right, so for you, I promise one of these days I will. All right, darling, take care. Okay, great. It's Realist 91.9. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Kara, PD Martin too. Did I listen? No, I didn't listen to Bandy last night. What was I doing last night? Oh, as usual, you see. I was at home and catching up on things. I'd look at different things. I'd look at last night to this morning. I was looking at YouTube. Yeah, what on YouTube? various things. Last night I was looking at the new National Party. Yeah, that's no surprise to you. Well, Andre, duh. Well, yeah, but I was looking at the new National Party. They're meeting at Good Hope. Yeah, they had that meeting last night. I looked at that. I when looking looking at different speakers and everybody else, and then I saw my good friend, my real brother, Dwight Hosford. He was there. He was nice. Well, usually he is, eh? Last night I think he was, and I wonder, because that I believe he was speaking to his mom. Yeah, his mom lives in that constituency. I've never met the lady. It's just in talking to him many times, I know that his mom lives in that constituency. So he really delivered last night in his time at the rostrum, you call it? Yeah, I think so. So he delivered. So Dwight, congratulations. That was a good night last night. Political leader, yeah, she was on target as usual. Well, Dr. Mitchell is Dr. Mitchell. There ain't never gonna be another Dr. Mitchell. Not in Grenada, definitely. There's not gonna be another Dr. Mitchell. And this is in no disrespect to anybody. He's just the creme de la creme. Yeah, he is the creme de la creme. Oh, Greg looked pretty decent last night, and he was he was good too. Greg always has a message, and that's one of the persons that we kind of overlook. I don't know why, but we kind of overlook Gregory Boyne. I need to bring him on my program one of these days. Probably bring him on in 20 questions. Greg is one of the most brilliant politicians to ever grace the stage in Grenada. Whether you like it or not, Greg is one of the more brilliant politicians to ever grace the stage in Grenada. And I say this too, in Greg's favor. Gregory Boyne is one of the most loyal politicians that I've ever seen in the OECS, in the Windward Islands, in CARICOM. Yeah, Greg is one of the most loyal politicians I've ever come across. I mean, he's loyal to a fault. And in terms of, I've heard him, not loudly, but I've heard him, and this is how loyal he is, I've heard him criticize his boss, meaning Dr. Mitchell. Seriously criticize him and say, no. But while criticizing him, he still stands by him, because he leaves room in his life so that people who make mistakes can adjust themselves. Yeah. Greg is so loyal and so patriotic. Remember that Greinsberg? That's the guy name? Greinsberg? Yeah, that Greinsberg guy. Greg defended paid lawyers. He paid lawyers to defend Grenada against Greinsberg. Now, Greg is a loyalist. You have to give Greg that. Ain't nobody, believe it or not, ain't nobody in Grenada that I know, is as loyal as Gregory Boyne when it comes to politics. There may be people in other spheres who are more loyal than Gregory, but when it comes to politics and loyalty to NNP, loyalty to his friend Keith Mitchell, and loyalty and patriotism shown to Grenada, none of you can do so and stand up against Gregory Boyne. If you don't believe me, ask Wendy and Maguire. Ask her. Or ask Anne-Marie Celestine or Cicely or one of them. Greg is a wonderful person who ceases not to care about people. He ceases not to care about people. He just continuously cares about people. I'd give you a little one before I run on. about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, yeah, I was in New York. I was going to the bank. So I'm standing in line and I'm seeing this guy in front of me and I'm like, oh, that guy there look like Gregory Boyne. That's what I'm saying in my mind there. That guy there look like Gregory Boyne, man. And the person turns around and the person looks at me. And I'm like, well, how that person look like Gregory Boyne, so? And the person turns around again. The person speaks to a young lady. And then the person turn around again and the person watch me. So I do so and I say, Greg, that's you. He say, Andre, that's you. It was such a funny moment. He says, what? I turn around there and I watch the person and I say, what? That look like Andre Donald. I said, Greg, I stand up behind there. I say, well, that look like Boyne in front of me, but I ain't too sure, so I ain't saying nothing. And he had a good laugh, had a little chat. He said, well, he was up there just to do normal checks and so that he does, ever so often. And we chatted and so on. And it was nice seeing him then. And it is always a pleasure seeing and listening to Greg. And I promise you, I will try to get Greg. I really haven't had Greg on my station, have I? I don't think I have, So I really need to try to get Greg on the program. Probably I'd bring him on a Tuesday when we have 20 questions that we could change to 30 or 40 questions. Yeah, that'd be a good thing. So look out for Gregory Boyne coming soon. I didn't say he was going to be on Tuesday coming. I didn't say that. But you never know. I might be able to get him for Tuesday coming. We'll see what happens. But nonetheless, Gregory Boyne, a stalwart in Grenadian politics. And yeah, well, my boy Dwight last night. Dwight eat them up. Yeah, well, Dwight say he wearing black because he mourning. I'm like, yeah, Dwight, you got it right, bro. You got it right there. We're going to take a commercial break and then we'll be seeking to speak to our friends. Or should we go? No, we're going to go straight to the Met Office. Stay with us.
This is Real Expressions Agriculture Thursday, only on 91.9 Real FM. From the soil to your soul, we growing real. From the mountain to the sea, farmers working endlessly, planting pride in every row. Grenada's roots forever grow. Sunrise brings the harvest call, banana, nutmeg, feeding all. We salute the ones who feed with every hand and every seed. We grow real, grow Grenada, heart of the land, real farmer flavor. Tune in, feel the nation rise. It's Thursday, we're proud and wise. On 91.9 Real FM style. It's Agriculture Thursday, Grenadian vibe. In the garden, in the field, real stories now revealed. Voices strong with tales to share of heritage, love and country care. Let the young and old unite, real expression shining bright. Agriculture is the way to build tomorrow from today. We grow real, grow Grenada, heart of the land, real farmer flavor. Tune in, feel the nation rise. It's Thursday, agri proud and wise. On 91.9 Real FM style. It's Agriculture Thursday, Grenadian vibe.
It's real, it's 91. 25 minutes it is after the 7 o'clock. It's time for us to make link with the Meteorological office at the Morris Bishop International Airport. Nicole Jones? Yes, that's what I think it is. Miss Jones, good morning. Thank you very much, Nicole. Take care of yourself. Jones at the Archbishop International Airport Meteorological Office. Yeah. Did I just sound like David Alcock in the morning? Remember Maeve and Dave? Boy, they were probably the two most popular broadcasters throughout the Caribbean that worked together like that. Maeve and Dave in Trinidad, 610 Radio Trinidad. Maeve, I don't remember Maeve's last name. Was she married to the guy? I don't even know, I don't even know if they were married. But Maeve and Dave in the morning, 610 Radio in Trinidad. Remember Auntie K on Sundays? Who would forget Auntie K? Well, yeah, those who never knew her. They can't forget her because they never knew her, Andre. Yeah. So I had to tell you what I really do. So I flip channels. Oh boy, there's somebody on the line. Should we take them? Okay, let's take them. Good morning. Hi. Morning, sir. How you doing? You heard Bandy Prayer on the YouTube, but you did not hear. Are you there? Okay.
I don't get really the bring the weather too.
Okay.
You fix that better.
I can't say that I know what went wrong, but I will try. I'm not the technical. You see, what they say to me here, only tackle you could talk, but they'll interfere that thing in them. So it doesn't really interfere in people think, but I have a feeling that I don't know. You go and listen, and when somebody calls me again on the landline, right?
Yeah.
Which is where you're calling me now.
Yeah.
If somebody will call me on the landline, when you put down, then you could tell me if you heard the person, okay?
All right.
Good. One love.
Yeah, bless up.
All right, blessings. It's real. It's 91, 919, 915, www. Hey, can somebody help us here and just give me a call? Yeah, give me a call so we can see if Rasta can hear me. I made a little adjustment. I made a change. Not an adjustment, a change. All right, so you can give me a call and yeah, let's make sure everything working okay, man. It's Agricultural Thursday, come on. Come on. Gotta be a special lady. Yeah, that's a big tune, from back in the day. And a very exciting girl. Good morning.
Morning, Jay.
Hey.
Morning. How are you?
What happening?
I did, man.
Where
You
they?
good?
No, I do good.
You look good?
I'm trying to make sure that all of us good.
Okay, Papa.
How you doing?
I did one. I just heard you you mentioned 16 radio, right?
Yeah,
and
Trinidad.
Predial, Cork, and Mavis John.
Mavis John. That what you have information, boy? Good, man. Good.
Right? I don't know why. Listen, well, I don't know what I mean. I really touched this man because because a long time I haven't heard somebody mention those people.
Yeah, maybe
But
Dave.
I don't know if they die, if they still
I don't
alive.
know. I don't know.
I don't know too. I don't know. Trust me. I don't know.
I'd love for somebody to tell us whether or not what's up with Maven Dave. Did they pass away?
Exactly.
You know that kind.
Exactly.
They were two stalwarts, man.
Yeah, boy. What?
David Alcock in the morning.
That's how the girl always show hard and you
Those were the days, man. Those were the days.
Anyway, I don't know if you are aware, right? In those days, there was a program, Lord, 9 o'clock in the evening or in the night or in the evening, late evening, with a guy called Larry Harewood.
You remember that those days?
Yes, boy.
By 9 o'clock, I had to go to bed, so I wouldn't know.
Well, I don't know, but listen, man. This program I so enjoyed, man.
What kind of program was it?
It was it was a random. It was entitled Random Talks with Larry Harewood. Talk about
Random Talk.
Yeah, Random Talks with Larry Harewood, and I think he was from Canada, but I think he died. And this man, what's me? And I mean, this thing was so touching, was so enlightening, was so educational, man. But what I want to ask you is like if you could maybe find out something. Well, I mean, just asking. I don't know because I would because I was always remember those programs, man. Because I used to always, because it is them talks you so talking about things in general, then and giving a open, objective view, on everything. And it was so educational. It was so enlightening. It was so it was so nice, man. So what I want to ask you, if you could find out. If this program, okay, like if you could get a copy of this program, as I say, I'm just asking.
Random talk.
Yes. The program was entitled "Random Talks About Things in General" with Larry Elwood. Yeah, that was the program. Random Talks About Things in General with Larry Elwood. That was the name of the program. So I don't know. I'm just asking if you could, find out more. If maybe if we could if I could get a copy, I mean, well, I don't mind paying for it, because I mean, I learn a lot, right? Trust me, I learn a lot from these programs and them. But the guy died, yeah, right? The Larry would die, but as I say, as you as a radio personality, if you could find out more, just asking though. I was asking if it's possible, if you could find out more. If these programs, if they're still there, if if I could get a copy of them, I'll be very, very grateful for that. Trust me.
Well, all I can say to you, my brother, is that I will try. Random talk with Larry.
Yeah, random talks about things in general.
About things in general.
Okay. That program used to be 9 in the days of 6:10 radio.
That time I had to go and sleep, boy. What are you?
I realize. But I mean, what should be? I used to leave. Man, whatever I doing, I used to leave it out and tune into that program 9 o'clock.
All right. I'll do some research and see what I come up with for you. I'll see what's happening.
Thanks a lot.
All right, one love, man.
Yeah, my one love.
Take care. Great. Bye-bye. So yeah, we still back. I still haven't told you what I do when I get home. When I get home, what I do is I grab something to eat. If I have to cook, then I go cook. If not, I heat up some food, microwave or something. Yeah, and then I hit the couch. With a little couch I have, not a big one, not a big couch, a little couch. I hit the couch and grab the remote. That's it. Basketball is my first check, and then I check about local things. I look at bits and pieces of everything. The guy whose name I does not mention, him. Yeah, I look sometimes at his program to see what he's saying, to hear what he's saying. Sorry. The Donkey Long guy. Yeah, I look. Even this morning I was looking at his program where he had on the guy whose name I don't mention, and then he had on the Perry guy. He had them on, and that was I looked at the program and I realized, Andre, don't even talk about it. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. You don't want to talk to me, and I keep saying to y'all, yeah, when you call, be prepared that you may. Yeah, today is Agricultural Thursday show, man. Yeah. Today's Thursday, Agricultural Thursday. When you call, let me tell you folks something. When you call, I would love to take you instantly as I see the red light. I'd love to take the call instantly. However, it may not happen and will not, and sometimes it doesn't happen at all when that takes place. And why? It's because I am wired different to what's his name? To the Francis guy. Yeah, we wired different. He be talking to you and you call and you gone off one way and he's gone with you and he doesn't return to what you was talking about. It happens. I can't. I'm not wired that way. So I'd love to, most of the times I love to finish what I'm saying, and then I can do some entertain the brother or the sister who's online. And one of the things I hate the most, I tell you, one of the things I hate the most is a morning we'll be having some great talk. Some great talk. We're talking about the sea and what's in the sea and what's not in the sea. And somebody called and started to talk about buildings and which building taller than the next and what building they should have put there. And I was like, but hold on, how could that person be like that? That's insulting. And that upsets me sometimes. And I behave in a manner sometimes I say, oh, Andre behaving like a pig. So. Well, it happens like that. It happens like that. Somebody sent me a message and asked, Andre, why do you view the guy whose name you don't mention and the Donkey Long guy? Why do you look at the programs? And I'm like, well, to begin with, they look at my programs. They look at every single thing that I do. So I look at their programs. To look at every single thing that they do, I look at their programs. I need to, hey, in order to stay with the game or even ahead of the game, you must pay attention with what is happening around you at all times. And when you hear some of the comments made, and I wouldn't even try to, I'll just let you know that I do listen, I do go and view. When you hear some of the comments made by individuals who are on this, that, those programs, you're like, what? For real? You'd be like, but no. When you'd hear things like, no, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, wonderful man, didn't say that at all. That's not what he said. And you're like, but hold on. Yes, he did. Man, I tell you, sometimes it's just, but hey, to each his own. To each his own. Life goes on, and every day another baby is born. When the shoe squeezing me, is me squeezing. When the shoe squeezing me, is me the shoe squeezing. So it's me that could talk about how the shoes born in me little toe. Or how I had to try to carve my big toe so you wouldn't hit the front of the shoe. That's how it is when the shoe's squeezing. However, when the shoe started to squeeze you, I hope you could handle. Morning.
Morning, sir.
Yes, Mr. Bridgman.
Yeah, I like the statement that you made that you listen to other person's program. Because sometimes you have to learn from the other person's program. And I support you with having Mr. Bowen on your program. I think he's a man with a lot of ideas, and I'm glad if you could have him. But I would like when you have those people, like you had yesterday, the day before, Mr. Michael Batiste. When you have them, if you could have part of way open the line so that we could get a feel on them too, because sometimes we have questions that we want to ask them directly. So open that we could get a feel on them. But I think it's a good thing to have Mr. Bowen on, because he knows a lot, and he, as you say, he can operate in any ministry, any area you put him. He has proven that any area you put him, he could operate from there. But we need to know some of the, question them at times to get some of the information that they have. So that's a good intention.
Thank you, sir. How are you doing today, sir?
Kind of cool.
Kind of cool. Yeah. How do people at Closier? What's the latest you heard?
I have not heard anything.
What's wrong with you, man?
The latest I heard is something that the Prime Minister, part of the news where they say that they're working towards opening the road sometime They didn't say when. But apparently some work is being done, and now they get the weather. So I don't know what I've done there, but it looked like they're making some sort of progress now. It seems, I don't sure. But I definitely want to see something
I
happen.
want to see progress, and I hope that there is progress, and I believe that there is progress. However, you made a very, very important point that we can hop on for a bit. And that point, Clifford, has to do with the rain.
Yeah.
You're not getting the rain. And that's great. It provides time for the men to work.
Yeah.
For the common work. However, I hope and pray that this does not bar the authorities from looking at what is the beginning of the situation. Because, Clifford, having been to the site, I've been there. And while I did see that they're doing work, the wall that they're building is a lot higher than they had to build it, and that's good. That's good. The person with the house, they can't save the house. I guess they'd have to do some compensate the gentleman for the house. That's a different kettle of fish. That is not for me. There's a lot of land at the bottom of the road that all trees and everything that was down in that land, I guess they would have to compensate the person for that land too, because all the debris that's coming from the road, they're just pushing it down in that land. Now, that has to be looked at. The house has to be looked at. But the most important thing to be looked at, you, of course, would be pretty much aware of the area where that mishap took place. And on the top side of the road, going back into the nutmeg and it's like you go back to the carnival, the song for Carnival Day. Kalalu leaf in the drain. Going back into that, because inside the day I was informed by the villagers that a lot of kalalu and so came from inside the day, and that is where the people who have Labe market in the US, that's their land. So they get a lot of kalalu and
that is part of the Mount Felix estate.
what? Yeah, well I don't know. Well, you would know.
Yeah, that's part of Mount Felix estate.
No,
that was managed by Pussy Campbell some years ago.
A lady informed me. She said to me, "Mr. Donald, that's my house up there." Speaking about on top of the hill of that same land that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She said, "That's my house up there." She says, "Behind my house is a slide. You cannot see it because it is covered. The slide took place inside the balize. So when you look, what you're seeing is a balize. You're not seeing the slide." She said, and that slide came down. She says, "Look here, you see this?" She said, "This fault runs way back to that golden apple tree over there, which is close to about 100 yards or so away, or maybe more." She says, "That is the fault. That is what is causing the problem here." Right? Elderly lady, speaking from experience, she would know the area. She probably grew up in the area. Now, Clifford, if we don't tackle that, it is going to come again.
Yeah, well, it will. You know when Mr. Norris boxing plan is?
No.
Okay, there's supposed to be road there, area there that they could cut a road to go back, to go back to Gilguston. Go over Norris boxing plan.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's going to take a lot of labor and a lot of big stones to move. But I think in the PRG days they had actually looked at it already to do it. So it is something that I'm aware of already, but as to get it done, I don't know what is happening, what will happen, because the Gulsan is more or less abandoned now. The family can't come to agreement there, so nothing has been done there for how much years now. You know. So I don't know what will happen.
But que sera, what will be, my brother. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's real. It's 91. Yeah, usually have a little truck before BJ come. Oh, BJ, I don't know what time you getting here, but I hope he's be ABS soon. I hope that you'll be here soon. Oh, boy. It's amazing, eh? It's amazing how people, Charmaine, good morning, turn into, how do I call them? I don't know. I don't even have a name to call them, but the more you see, the more you live in Grenada, which of course is what it's supposed to be, eh? The more you live is the more you learn. The more you live is the more you learn. Believe that, my friends. Ain't nothing else I'd say to you about that. The more you live is the more you learn. All of a sudden, everybody just turned to be best educators in different fields that they know nothing about. That they know nothing about. It's not me that has traveled with people and had a briefcase and let me just leave. Andrew, just leave this thing alone now, man. That used to travel with people and had to hold a briefcase. Ain't traveling nobody and had to hold a briefcase? No? Ain't traveling nobody that had to hold a briefcase all the crazy hour. That thing in there, mad. Hold a briefcase for yourself. Yeah. Well, you butler then. Well, if I have the butler job then, yeah, I guess. But outside, we traveling to a particular conference together and what have you not, and that I have to hold your briefcase, joke you're making. Hell no, that don't happen. That don't taking place. That don't taking place at all. It's not going to happen. Hold your briefcase for yourself. What? People has come from briefcase holder next to them. They have people holding their briefcase too. Where are you going to that? No, watch. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. This is agricultural morning. Yeah, and I really want to have a good conversation with BJ this morning as it relates to agriculture. I want to have a wonderful conversation with Bertrand John. So just leave me alone and don't even bother me. Charmaine, yeah, as Charmaine says, don't forget the thing. Yeah, man, all you could watch. I'm showing all your movie, Hold on, that is one movie. Let me go to our next one now. We're watching all kind of movie this morning while we do what? Oh, you mean that will distract you? So let me just turn things so. Or turn the camera. Yeah, turn it so. So you could still see. I'll turn it so. I come quite back here. You can't see nothing. I just drum the microphone over here, and I'm ready to roll. So you can't see nothing. You don't know what I'm looking at. I'll be looking at God-forsaken things. I need some peppers. Does anybody have hot peppers? I need some hot peppers. Is there anybody with hot peppers? I just called my friend in Trinidad a couple of days ago and asked him to send me some hot pepper seeds. He's going to send it. Yeah, I believe he will send it, but the trick is when. Yeah, and I really want hot pepper seeds. Angel, when you do so and you realize something wrong, why you didn't call me? Angel, I got to let you go as friend, Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to all you who send. Let me tell you all something, And listen to this very carefully. When you send me messages, not at all times I have the ability to see. I don't have phone in hand all times. No. There's so many things. I told you before, There are 1, 2 just inside of here. Well, actually, no, 4. Four computers. We have one here. That's for the folks who are listening on the tune-in and who are listening off 91.5. This is responsible for you. Yeah, this computer over there is responsible for you. So that's one computer here. All right. The other is this one that I'm pointing to right now. This one. Yeah, that's the other computer here. That one is for those people who are listening and viewing. That's your computer over there. So that's 1. That's 2. And this one over here. This one is not for folks listening. This is play music and advertisements and so on. Yeah. So that's this one there. So that's 3 computers actually. Well, the phones, and then you have 3 telephones in 20175. You have that both landline and WhatsApp, and then you have 4420975 over there, and of course my. And then we have other bits of equipment, storage drives, UPS backups, me here that you're seeing, this here, the boat. So there's so many different pieces that we have to be cognizant of. So I have to be paying attention to this one here, this one here, this one here, the board, everything. I'll be paying attention. So comes back to telling you not every time. I could be, focusing on the phone. So if you give me a little call, sometimes you can call and I'll answer. You can call the landline. WhatsApp, 442-175. You can call. This is strange. What time is it? 7:55? No, it's not that strange. I was just thinking it's strange that BJ is not here as yet this morning, but one would expect him to be here. Yeah, watch plain screen. All you want to watch a movie, all you think is, no movie today. No movie today. Let's get with some advertisement. And Angel, pretty Angel, how are you this morning, my dear? I trust that you're doing fine, that you are having a wonderful day. All right, Angel? Angel, how's your uncle? Girl, I ain't hearing from that guy. That guy like he give me up. What? Never had it like that before. Stephanie John, good morning to you. Dolores Redhead.
1-9
Stanley Johnson.
M. From the soil to your soul. We growing real.
Stanley Johnson, thanks for that comment, right?
Farmers
I'll put it up, man. It makes me feel good. It does.
need us.
Mr. Donald, you are an educator. Am I? I didn't realize. Wonderful show yesterday. You spent so much time on bringing the facts. Good job. Thank you, Mr. Stanley Johnson. Yeah, Shaman Rock was saying, but watching you when you're watching movie. Of course, I told you I was going to show you a movie. Didn't you hear me? Don't worry, man. This is how we flow. This is how Real FM is. We are multi-talented individuals.
In the garden, in the field, now revealed. Voices strong what tells the share of heritage, love, and country care.
This is Real 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. We are going to take a commercial break. When you hear my voice, the time will be approximately, let me do some quick calculations. When you hear my voice next, the time should be about a minute after the 8 o'clock hour. Stay with us.
Big sale alert. From September 15th to the 30th, get a massive 40% off Price Buster and Magical paints at The Color Shop, Frequente Industrial Park, and all hardware partners island-wide. A limited selection of colors is available on Magicoat, so don't wait until it's too late. Shop today before stocks run out. Call 43 Paint for more details.
Flow customers, you've been with us. You've stayed connected. And now, loyalty pays back. At Flow, we're with $400 in vouchers. That's like 7 months off your mobile bill. Back in your pocket. Back to you. Simply add mobile to your current home internet plan and claim your $400 reward today. Loyalty pays back. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
Angel's Beauty Salon and Barbershop, Bruce Street Mall, St. George's, your one-stop destination for all things beauty, hair services, relaxes, waves, treatments, braids, natural hairstyles, locks and lock installation, wig installation, nail services, acrylic nails, pedicures, and more. Call or WhatsApp us today, 1473-403-4421 to book your appointment today.
The new Grenville Credit Union debit card has made online shopping easier than ever. Quick, secure, and hassle-free. Just and shop with confidence. Get yours today.
Introducing Berger Travel-On from Answer Coatings Grenada Limited. Built tough for the Caribbean climate, Berger Travel-On is your one-coat solution for long-lasting protection and a beautiful finish. This patent texture design is available in 3 grades: ultra-fine, fine, and coarse, and in a wide range of colors, perfect for exterior and quick drying, low maintenance, and cost-effective. Berger Travel-On keeps your projects on time and within budget. So whether you're building your first home or refreshing your space with that modern look, beautify and protect your investment with Berger Travel-On. Visit the Color Shop Painter Studio at Frequent St. George or our hardware partners nationwide today. Berger, for lasting beauty and protection.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M&N is a leader in locally manufactured aluminum windows, roofing, and guttering. Our manufacturing division is efficient, flexible, and will always go the extra mile to surpass customer expectations. If you need security, sash, casement, or projected windows, we're able to do it. Security and heavy-duty doors are state-of-the-art and can be customized using innovative coating technologies and protective film. Our roofing and guttering is weather-resistant, providing outstanding color retention for many years. Available in 24 and 26 gauge and a variety of color options. We are the leading company, a family that is proving to customers they can products. M&N Hardware Limited. Let's build together.
In Grenada, we supply fertilizers, herbicides, seedlings and nursery supplies, diesel water pumps, walk-behind tillers, organic and environmentally friendly agricultural inputs. We're serving you from 2 locations at Birch Grove and booth 34 at the Vendors Market in Grenville. Cost-effective agricultural solutions for all. Visit Gittins Home and Garden Center for the best in everything agriculture. Call us on 409-2175 or 438-4337. Gittins Home and Garden Center, from your farm to your backyard.
This is Real Xprssions Agriculture Thursday. 019 Real FM from the sun. We growing real. From the mountain to the sea, farmers working endlessly, planting Grenada's roots forever grow. Sunrise brings the harvest.
I did tell you, friends, that by the time I came back, it will be just around a minute or 2 after the 8 o'clock. You see, I can calculate pretty okay. When it comes to that, I can calculate. And then my phone alarms 8 o'clock every morning. I don't know why my phone alarm at 8 o'clock. Well, I think I do. When it alarms at 8 o'clock every morning, it's time to say, Andre, shut up and let other people talk. Oh, you know, I didn't send the link to Dr. Antoine as yet for the morning. No, that's yeah, it wasn't working. It wasn't working. But what happened to this thing now? Okay, good. Right. Yeah, it wasn't working in truth, friends. It was giving problems. Remember, since last week Thursday when Zephyrin called, it was giving problems, and then we had to change one bit of equipment. Yeah. So let me show you. I love to show people things, so that you know exactly what is All right, good. So Dr. Antoine has received the thingy, and it's time for me to go back so you guys can see me again. Yeah. So you're back with me, right? So you see this piece of equipment. This piece of equipment, it got damaged. I don't know what happened to it. Probably burnt out on the inside. So as a result of that, remember when we tried to bring Zephyrin up in terms of hearing Zephyrin on last Thursday, it was, I think? Yeah, we weren't able to. And even yesterday, we weren't able to have live, like in living color, like looking at us and stuff. We weren't able to have that. So as a result of that, we had to, based on what I saw on Thursday, then I had to put things in motion to get another piece of equipment. We've gotten another piece. Let me see if I can show it to you. I've gotten another piece. And it's right there. Hold on, I'll try to show it to you. I try to keep you abreast, I try to keep you abreast with things that I... Okay, so there it is. Wait, no, that's the one bad. This one, that's the one that's bad. So let me show you to you now. That's the one that's bad. Yeah, that one. And this is the new one that we got. Yeah? Got that one yesterday, and Gates was able to put it up yesterday. So that means that we're done one and had to get another one. Okay? Now, I'm not really here to show you a lot of things this morning, but I can show you a guy who's on his phone. He's not even bothering with us, but he's on his phone. So there he is, see? There he is. What's his name? Bertrand. Do you know him? Yeah. Bertrand, good morning.
Morning, Andrew.
I have your microphone still off. It's on now.
Morning, Andrew.
How you doing?
I am doing fine.
Nice to see you.
Happy to see you as always.
Yeah. Is it blue? Blue and white?
It's blue.
What's up with that blue and white today?
Just trying to get your attention.
My attention? But you ain't really succeeding in getting my attention at all, my brethren. Forget that. You ain't succeeded in getting the attention. That attention too good for you. How's your week?
Normal week.
What is a normal week for Bertrand, John?
Get up and walk every day. Normal week.
That's a normal week?
Yes.
Okay.
When I don't work on a particular day, I have an abnormal week.
That's interesting. Very interesting. I have a little thing on my microphone here. I think I've gotten it there now, where it should be. Should we check? Yeah, let's check years also. Are you still hearing me?
I am hearing you.
Good. So I think better place now. Yeah, we're definitely in a better place as it relates to volumes and so. What did you plant this week?
What did I plant? Didn't plant anything this week.
What did you?
Harvesting bananas and plantains today.
Today?
Today.
Just today?
Just today.
Bananas and plantains. How many bananas and plantains would you harvest in a day? How many pounds are we looking at on a day like today?
£4,000-5,000.
Really?
Yeah. Basis.
On a weekly basis, you harvest 4,000 or 5,000 pounds.
Yeah.
$1 a pound? I want to check your money, seriously.
$2.50 a pound.
Wow. So that's $10,000 a week? What are you doing, bananas, BJ?
Yes.
No, man. No. Can you show me I can plant some bananas? BJ, you talking about you're turning around, and that's bananas only.
Yes.
You're turning around $10,000 worth of bananas every week. Friends, and you guys sitting there with that piece of lanyard, you ain't doing nothing with it? Come on. How long will it take you to get up to that speed?
Drake, this can happen within a 9-month period. You need your bananas. You don't have to replant in a hurry if you take care of the field. You basically, don't have to replant for, the theoretical recommendation is 7 years. You need to replant. I have bananas in the same area 20 plus years.
From the same stool?
From the same area. Planted after Hurricane Ivan. Still harvesting from it. Haven't changed it. I just start replanting.
But how many? Okay. What would you say your percentage of bananas? Butch, is what percentage of the need of bananas on the Grenadian market?
Probably 1/3.
So there's still 2/3
outside
that
there
be filled?
that can be filled. Marketing board, there are other personnel who are ripening bananas. We aren't the only people.
So you're talking about you can supply 1/3
Yes.
with ripe bananas?
With ripe bananas.
All right. The other entities do they make up?
Sometimes there is a scarcity. Some other entities who are ripening bananas cannot fill in that void, that market void. So sometimes, you overproduce. Sometimes, there isn't enough.
Biggest market is where?
Biggest market. Rams.
They do a lot of bananas.
Real value.
Would you say that is from the SGU's end?
Yes. And the students eat a lot of, especially things like bananas. People who are exercising and stuff like that.
Potassium.
Yeah, they need quite a bit of those.
I didn't know that cricketers use a lot of bananas.
Yes, sports people.
And I heard it from Junior Murray, and he says, look, he'd go off for tea, when they go off for tea, and he'd be having a couple of bananas. And I'm thinking, why the hell? And then when I did more research, I realized, hey, you need potassium there because that constant stooping behind the stumps, that's a lot.
A lot of energy.
A lot. Yeah. That's interesting. That's rather interesting.
Andre, it's kind of strange. I would have brought in these banana plants from Israel, Friday named Williams, a long time ago, And it's kind of strange. I would have sold probably between 75 and 100,000 plants over that period of time.
Sold to people?
Sold to people. Because I more or less became one of the main supplier of banana plants, not just for individual farmers, but for the government too. Sometimes when they have major projects and they want, to help farmers, they would, contact me because of the nature of my field. I don't have any diseases and stuff like that. So you may find like a leaf spot here and there, but that's it. And Andre, we shouldn't be importing banana plants and we shouldn't have a scarcity. It tells me that farmers are planting but they're not maintaining. It tells me something wrong with the system and this need to be corrected.
For the amount that you would have sold?
Yeah.
We are supposed to be
self-sufficient
by now.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty interesting.
And the same for plantings.
Wow.
But it's kind of strange because sometimes the same people who bought from you 5 years later, they come back and buy again.
But would you say that they're extending the plots or they just
No, they should have enough suckers to extend if they want to.
Okay.
It tells me that something is wrong. You're planting but you're not maintaining.
You made a point there, BJ. I want to hop back on it. You said outside of a little leaf spot here and there, your fields remain
clean.
How are you able to maintain this?
Andre, I think our location too. Normally bananas that are planted close to the sea tend to resist diseases a lot more than those that are planted inlands, the climatic condition. And so it's things like water nuts and stuff like that. So you have to choose the crop for the location.
Okay, because you say leaf spot
Yeah.
is what you have, but I say being close to the sea, you might have leaf tear.
Yeah. That's okay. They leaf still green and they still would trap the energy that are required to manufacture food.
Do you believe that the sea salt, the moisture that comes from the sea, do you think that has an impact on the quality of bananas that you produce?
Yes.
What do you think it does?
Andre, because of the salt in the that comes through with the breeze that are living right on the coastline. Those things, Andre, a lot of insects don't like to be. In fact, in some countries they mix dilute salt water and put on plants.
Spray.
Yeah. Sulfate of ammonia. If you sort of take a little bit and touch it for your tongue, you're gonna feel how salty it is. So that have its more or less its beneficial effect on the plants. So if you're close to the sea, you tend to resist certain a lot, more than if you're inland. Fungus too. They like a lot of water and whatever, and for them to grow.
And you're a lot drier close to the sea.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, from your area, the wind that comes from the sea might be taking the moisture and carrying it.
Well, sometimes you can have sea blast too,
yeah.
You have so much salt in it that is too much for the plants. But over time, the plants will develop a kind of tolerance, you understand? To it, yeah. If you're too close and you have too much salt in the air, you can have problems also.
What can happen in Grenada if 10 other persons start to deliver to the market 5,000 pounds of bananas per week? What will happen on the Grenadian market here?
The price is going to go down and people are going to consume a lot more bananas. That's what we really want.
But with the price going down, wouldn't it mean a bad thing for the farmers?
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
Less money?
Andre, there is something called turnover.
Economies of scale.
Yeah.
Oh God. Here we go.
It's not economies of scale. It's just economics. It's normal economics. If you were to sell 5 cars, all right, and you sell them exorbitantly, and people would have taken 5 years to buy that 5 cars, and you have 50 cars.
Yeah,
he sell it in 1 year at a cheaper price. You may be surprised. The profit margin might be a bit smaller, but because you're turning it over several times, it adds up.
And then if he sells 50 cars in a year, that means he can go and buy another 50 and sell. So
while you're waiting to sell 5 cars, the man would have sell 250 cars.
250 cars right there. So he got to make more money than me.
He should be making more.
He should be making more. Okay. Now, BJ, would you encourage a youngster who's just getting involved in the whole business of agriculture and has I would say a 5-6 acre plot available to him. We didn't encourage him to go into bananas.
Yes.
Why? And don't tell me bananas are money.
Because you can plant the bananas, interplant it with something while the bananas is growing. So you can be making some additional money while you're waiting on the bananas.
What can you intercrop with bananas?
What? Butternut squash, cantaloupe, all of those.
Well, that is vine that will just tap.
No, not necessarily. The bananas are planted 8 feet apart. So, you know, you interplant the watermelon so you don't really affect the bananas as such. You just cover the ground and it prevents weeds at the same time. And in Grenada here, we seems to think like, you know, you just grow watermelon, you plant it and you leave it like that. No, you can prune watermelon, the auxiliary vine, and just have one vine growing.
I've seen that. I'm so much looking at YouTube. I've seen that.
Yeah, we prune watermelon.
Prune it.
Yeah. Have no auxiliary
have
growth.
some huge
Yes, the
watermelon.
growth are only focused in one area.
Yeah.
And sometimes we only leave one watermelon on a tree. Rather than leaving 5, 6, and then all of a sudden you cannot support them. Any more questions?
Yeah, what about callaloo?
In relation
To do you think that we are, one, consuming enough? Two, do you think enough is available on the market?
No, sometimes you still can have a scarcity of callaloo. Although there is, there are a few farmers who are, doing callaloo on a fairly large scale. But it's still thing that sometimes at a household level, we're not consuming enough callaloo. Callaloo is very good for you. And we should be consuming it a lot more. And it should be fed to our children in school.
Yes, because that's where I want to swing. With the bananas, BJ, which I know you do contribute to different schools at different times of the year. And callaloo, which I don't think we have enough available. Because when I want callaloo, I had to beg somebody in Montreal for some callaloo. Beg Henry. Henry, good morning. Yeah, I had to beg Henry to organize me. So I had to find him today because I think I want to eat callaloo tomorrow. I don't know if it's a soup or whatever. But, yeah. Back to the schools. Food and nutrition. Yeah, I hammered them so much as using little things, BJ, Grenada Food and Nutrition Council. And I said to them, yes, no matter that you, my government too, the government is not advertising with us. Because of my commitment to agriculture and because of my commitment to local, I love local stuff. Because of my commitment to local, I'm saying to the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council, when you have new recipes, a recipe for a drink that is local stuff, a recipe for a meal, again, local stuff, send it to me. I'll put it out for you. Because at the end of the day, a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. And that's what we are all about. So don't bother with the government and they'll tell you, well, we don't advertise it to Real FM, we don't say anything. Send it to Real FM. We are going to play. Are we going to? No, we wouldn't charge because we will run into problems. You know that is the government policies not to do business with us. But we have a responsibility to the nation. So I could go and get a recipe and put it out, But next thing y'all go say, hey, I'm fighting against this and I'm fighting against that. No. So you do your recipes, send them to us. Somebody wants to hear. What are you waiting, BJ? Somebody will hear, right?
Andre, things of those nature should be always welcomed.
Yeah, I want somebody to hear.
With regard to getting people to eat healthier and regard to feeding our nation. We were talking about food sovereignty some time back. We need to eat what we grow and grow what we eat as much as possible.
So again, food and nutrition, please send your recipes. BJ, I was asking for some hot peppers this morning. Do you know anybody who has hot peppers who would be willing to get rid of some by giving me?
No, sorry. Hot peppers I haven't seen in a while. You talk about hot pepper, I choke.
Huh?
Yes, you talk about hot peppers to the car. I don't like no pepper.
You don't like peppers?
Hot peppers, no.
I wouldn't say I love peppers, but I always like to fiddle with things like, chili peppers or so. I have a friend of mine who's going to make me a butler, but it's not for me. It's for a friend of mine who's going away. But does anybody have hot peppers? Can somebody just give me a call and say, yes, I have hot peppers, but I ain't giving you? Something like that could work, BJ. I really would like to have some hot peppers. Do you have the other peppers?
No.
Okay. Do you think that there is money in hot peppers in Grenada?
I should think so.
You should think so.
Andre, it's all about understanding the economics of growing a particular crop. Sometimes there isn't a large profit margin in the initial or primary production of that crop. However, lots of monies can be made by converting that product or that crop into a particular product. For example, hot pepper, because of the weight of pepper, probably it's a light something, and you have to pick quite a bit in order to get 1 pound. But if you use that 1 pound, you probably can get and process it. You probably can get 3, 4, 5 bottles of pepper sauce. And if you sell each one for $10, $15 or whatever you want to sell it for, you know what can happen. Whereas you have to sell 1 pound of pepper for $4, $5, in some cases $3.50. Don't make no sense. You have to add value. You have to involve in processing.
That's how I want to process the peppers that the person would give me. But nobody's calling. Nobody's saying, okay, fine, Andre, I've got hot peppers. I'm going to give you some. No one? And this is Agricultural Thursday, and you guys want me to be your friends, farmers?
Demand. The demand for it is...
What, you mean I should demand it?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant I should
If the demand for hot pepper was greater, you would have seen a lot more. Or somebody would have called already.
So you're saying, is it true, BJ, that if you plant hot peppers close to other peppers, it can change?
Yes, I assume.
Pollination?
Because of cross-pollination, yeah.
Okay.
It can happen.
We talk here every Thursday. We speak about things. This morning we spoke about bananas, and there's still money to be made in bananas locally. Peppers, hot peppers, looks like it's not available. Or the people who plant them don't listen to Real FM. But there are other things too, BJ. The government, as soon as they came in, they went on this spice thing. They were planting spice trees, I guess cinnamon trees with different schools and so on. BJ, there's been no report. Does that speak to the quality of government that we have?
Andre, I for one don't believe in disorganized things. God probably could have made the world in one day. It might take 7 days and sit down and plan it out meticulously. And there are reasons for those. He had a plan. But if you're getting up every day and calling shot and say you see 2 spice during the corner, you decide to stick it and you say you have a spice program going on. It's up to you if you want to do those things in that particular way. You can make yourself a fool and make the people who following you, but people like me know, with great certainty that things like that is just a waste of time. And things you planted. If you're getting involved in agriculture, get involved in it. You show the level of commitment and the level of, you put the level of input that are required, the level of hard to do this stuff. Andre, how many acres of spice you have planted up in Grenada?
I don't
Do you show that kind of information as a media outlet?
Dr. Antoine could have given us
I'm
that,
sure
but
he
he's
doesn't
not.
have the exact figure. No doubt about that. Ministry don't know. I'm just trying to tell you how
Okay.
disorganized. So if you don't know what you have, how you gonna know where you're going? Andrew, you have to do an assessment first. You have to do appraisal. Okay? That's the first stage in the planning process, you know. You know what you have, you know what is required, and you know where you want to go. You can't tell me that, but you say you're involved in planting up of spice. How much you want to plant up? How you doing it over the next few years? Is it a 1 year thing? Andrea brought in 30,000 pineapple plants.
Yeah, you didn't give me.
You was a baby them time there. And would have planted it. And you know, Andre, I would have given farmers more like 60 to 90,000 pineapple plants. Give. And 3 years later or 5 years later,
They don't have one.
you don't have one. They're asking me, BJ, you have pineapple still? I say, yeah, get out of that. You know, just bring in the pineapple plant so we can really, you know, supply pineapple ingredient. Pineapple for $4.50 per pound. I had so much that the price became something like cents or 75 cents per pound. And I decided, okay, we have enough ingredient now. Let me get out of it and see what happens. Now the government brought in, you know, that talking about 15 years later, you know, 20 years later, they would have brought in 70,000.
Right now.
Right now. And they would have called in all farmers and give them 2 bag here, a bag here and there, like mad people. Andre, you find 5 farmers, you find 10 farmers, and you plant up this thing. And Andre, from those farms, then you expand. This little juking fight things on the hillside and the man with a little plotting and playing politics with agriculture. I wonder where we're going. The price is going to remain the same all the time with what we're doing. Economies of scale. You have to have the thing in large quantities in order for the price to drop. If there is a demand and the thing isn't plenty around, there is nothing in the forces in the world that can stop the price from going up. Competition.
I think I see your friend here, BJ. Let me see if he's there. Let me see if he can hear. Something is echoing. It's echoing on my end. Hold on, let me see. What am I doing here? What am I doing?
Yes, it's the usual radio that interferes with our initial connection there, Andrew. My apologies one more time. But it tells you that I keep listening while I do other things, you know. Good morning, BJ. Good morning, Andre.
Morning, Doc.
Yeah, you.
Are you guys hearing me?
Yeah, excuse you want to make dice off? I know it's
Hello.
excuse you're trying to. Are you hearing me, Doc?
Good morning. Good morning.
Are you hearing me? You're not hearing me?
Andre, good morning.
I am. Are you there now?
Hearing.
You're not hearing anything.
Well, let me see if my speaker might be off.
No, your speaker shouldn't be off.
Oh.
I think everything should be okay. You still not hearing me, Doc?
I don't know why. Okay. Are you hearing me? Good morning.
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Morning, Andre. Good morning, BJ.
Morning, Doc.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I had a technical problem here. My apologies.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you now, Andre.
So you have me thinking that it's my problem, it's your problem.
Well, no. This time it's my problem. Other times, it have been, I must admit it's been my problem this morning. Good morning, BJ. Good morning, Andre.
Morning, sir.
Thank you for allowing me to join your program this morning. As usual, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I had to send it because
audience there too.
BJ asked a question, and it's only you alone that can answer that question.
The question was repeated, if you don't mind.
How many acres of spice do we have planted in Grenada?
Ooh, that's something we've been trying to get some information on for some time now, And we tried the ministry, we didn't get the information. And then we began to interact with some farmers directly, and we didn't get too far with that because we had a change of personnel at the time. But it's something we would like to know because we want to have some specific information as regards the number of acres we have under the various types of spices. So how many acres we have of cinnamon, how many acres of clove, how many acres of tonka bean, how many acres of pimento, etc., etc. And that kind of data, I must confess, is scarce or not available, the long and short of it. And here is where BJ once made the point that the data collection should be a key factor of the Ministry of Agriculture so as to ensure and enable decision making and policy formulation. Because you cannot formulate policy and make decisions without good quality data. So yes, I'm sorry, I have to confess my ignorance here.
The only one who doesn't have, but as BJ did point out, nobody has that information in Grenada. But that is disastrous because if you don't have that information, it simply means that we can't plan, Doc. We can't plan.
Well, that's true, and planning is one of our weaknesses. And one of the major errors we make is that we assume that if we have an idea in our head, it's a plan. Or if you have an idea on paper, we think it's a plan, which is not. And so, yes, that's a serious issue that needs to be addressed. Maybe here is where our statistician, for example, can advise the various ministries as to how to go about data collection and storage. I don't know if that initiative will be taken on by the statistical department or office, whatever the case may be, but data collection ought to be a priority for all the ministries. And
well, the interesting thing is that on Tuesday morning, my guest, Hewitt White, who is a former manager of the Archbishop International Airport Meteorological, and he was speaking to the operations of Nawat, that based on his know-how and his understanding of what things that Nawasa and data that Nawasa is supposed to have, he is very disappointed that during his tenure at the Met Office, Nawasa did nothing. They in terms of data collection, which he said is needed, and of course he did point the need for data collection in Nawasa and draw the parallel in relation to agriculture. So again, we come to data this morning, and it seems as if we just operating vice in this country. BJ, Dr. Antoine, am I correct? We just operating helter skelter. We don't have any data on anything. BJ, how many bananas you sold ripe last week? You have that data?
Yes, Andre.
Oh, BJ has data.
Andre, without information, you wouldn't be able to make informed decisions.
Okay.
And you will be speculating, and generally, whatever is set out to do, because you start off by speculation, the uncertainty, the margin of it happening, going to be much wider. You want to reduce what amount of doubt you might be having, and the only way you can do that is by having the data. And Doc, as a scientist, would tell you that. Andre, remember, company like Kinko was able to collect data and more or less bottle the rum differently from the different fields that the cane came from, and able to tell you that internationally the cane that are grown in Dunfermline make the best rum because they went through the testing and did whatever, and they would have gotten the award for producing the best rum in the world. Cane come out in Dunfermline, able to isolate the information, Andre, and to store it for future reference. How else are you going to be able to do it? How are you going to know what going where if you don't have the information.
And that's something that takes or requires a high level of skills in terms of organizational skills and data collection and processing.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, that's a lesson we probably should learn. But I've also observed over the years that whenever there is something going on that can teach us a lesson in terms of how we can improve our work and operations, as a people, we don't always make use of that opportunity. So your example of the Cane Coast situation, BJ, would be an example of that. But another most striking example that I always refer to is when the construction of the wall at the place called Hit Me Easy in Granite Town. There was a place we used to always have slides coming down in that little stretch of road there.
Yeah.
And they built a wall on the bend of that road going up that hill. And that wall required some significant high quality engineering, which today we still have not seen a slide occurring, right? Very interesting. But the wall was so constructed involving a high level of engineering. And by golly, I would have thought our engineers, civil engineers, would have looked at it and probably learned a thing or two as it went along. And yet still we continue to build walls that fall after 2-3 years, So I'm making this point because we ought to learn as we go along from other people's operations and experiences. And the process of continuing education is not necessarily going into a classroom, but it also involves reading. It also involves attending conferences and seminars. It also involves asking questions and interacting with knowledgeable and skilled people. And we take too lightly to things like that because, we do not have, if I may say in a bold way, we do not have a scientific culture here in Grenada. And so a lot of scientific principles we are not familiar with. And therefore, if we're not familiar with them, then we're not able to apply them. Remember, there's a principle that says, familiarity breeds
contempt.
Utility. If you're familiar with something, you tend to use it. But we tend not to be able to use anything because we're not familiar with it and we do not familiarize ourselves with the principles. So that's part of the challenge we have, where we need to bring in the scientific principle of data collection into all the ministries so as to make a difference down the road in terms of our intermediate and long-term planning.
What you've said there, Dr. Entwine, in relation to the wall at Hit Me Easy in Grande Terre,
yes,
it takes us to the modern day. It takes us to today. And we speak of the Closure Road, which allows Grenada to access an agricultural belt to the country, the middle of the agricultural belt, quote unquote. And you said that we need to do so and understand how come no slide ever took place after that, knock on wood. But I'm not saying that any slide is going to take place, but it looks to me like just a simple wall went up in Closure and the no thought and soil study, doc, and whatever, because there are areas when you go, if you care to look, you will see that there are other areas that are moving.
Right.
So it goes back to what you say. Data collection. We do not collect because we figure that we ain't gonna need that, man.
Yeah. And there is a serious lack of curiosity to learn, we're not interested in anything that's of high scientific value. And so that too is a problem that we face. And I would have thought that more and more people with tertiary level education would have a greater interest in learning. And believe you me, learning is a continuous process. It doesn't stop from womb to tomb, learning should occur. But it seems to me that once we finish school, by golly, education learning stops, And I hope we could change that mentality as we move along, but that's where we're at. And we need to, I think in long and short is we need a renaissance in learning. We need a revival in learning here in Grenada, specifically, and maybe throughout the Caribbean for that matter. But yeah, that's an issue that needs to be dealt with somewhere along the line. And science culture is something we need to develop, and we need to work on it quickly, very quickly, because we already been left behind in terms of economic and social development because of our low level of application of the science, the principles of science. I want to mention. Sorry, go ahead, BJ.
No, you go ahead, Doc.
I wanted to mention something additional to what we've been talking about, though, and I hope you don't see it as diverting from the issue of data collection, but it refers specifically to the agricultural sector. Last week, at our Spice Farmers Association, we held our monthly meeting, and I'm raising it because, one, I missed the program last week, Thursday, because of some urgency that occurred on the production at the factory there that I needed to tend to. But in the evening, we were able to have our meeting, and we were fortunate enough to have 2 officers coming from the Predial larceny division. And they shared a wealth of information with us, which I think I wanted to share some of with our farmers this morning, because the guys, they have been very active, and you wouldn't know it until you interact with them. But one of the things they highlighted was the importance of every time there is an incidence of theft of produce by any farmer, it is important to at least make a report to the officers so that there's a record of an incident occurring. And frequently we have incidents of people stealing our produce and we do not report it. But they highlighted that in terms of the importance of providing evidence. So you provide a report, but with the report, you provide as much evidence as is possible, so that if there is need for any follow-up, then there's the possibility to do that. The important thing is another important point made was the fact that as the victim of Predial larceny, the farmers also have 2 or 3 choices they can make as regards how the officers proceed with the potential culprit, right? So that if the culprit is being identified by whatever means or methods, then the farmer has a choice to decide, okay, he can take the person to court, or he can ask the person to compensate him for the stolen produce or loss. Or he can also say, okay, let's just forgive it and forgive him and give him a serious warning and take it from there. But there are a number of options that the officers provide the farmers or the victims of Predial larceny, which was very instructive to us. So that's a second point I want to highlight as coming from that session discussion with the Predial larceny officers on Thursday. And a third point that was made was the importance of evidence. Evidence is essential, they said, because without evidence, you cannot. With evidence, you can demonstrate the truth of a case, right? And so, without evidence, you do not have a case, basically. And so, taking pictures of whatever was observed or seen, or the person involved, or the missing crop, or taking videos of those things, if you happen to have cameras like BJ has in his fields, or if you can get witness reports and observation and descriptions of things they've seen, those would be good pieces of evidence that the officers can make use of to follow up on the report and hopefully to help the farmer to get some redress as regards loss of stolen property. So those are 3 points I wanted to highlight coming from the discussion last week, Thursday.
Isn't it very interesting, though?
Yes.
That the Predial larceny officers did find the time to come to your meeting, but on a program that is designed for the same farmers that they want to talk to, they will not show face.
Well, have you invited them? The Predial larceny officers.
Do I know about them? Do I know about them?
The group that came.
Do I know about them? Do I know about them?
Well, now that you know, we could probably use the opportunity to bring them on the program sometime.
Did you invite them to your meeting?
Sorry?
Did you invite them to your meeting?
Yes, we invited them to the meeting because we are in the process of mobilizing and reminding our farmers of the meeting.
So
Upcoming
invite
meeting.
them to this one here. Then you have the permission to invite them here.
All right, I can get Officer John and Officer Roberts to probably take a couple hours, hopefully of their busy schedule, and visit you because they operate at night as
You
well.
know that is something I really and truly don't like. Eh?
Which
When
is,
somebody tell me, "Oh well, I'm taking time off from my busy schedule," then don't come.
well, no. The truth is, Andre, it's a few of them operating in the St. Andrews area,
Doctor
but they get quite a
Antoine,
lot of reports,
stop.
and I think they will make time to come. So let
Are
me
you
just talk to them
are you
first.
too busy to bottle Woodman?
No, that's my
All
that's
right.
my
So then
full-time job.
let's stop right there. Stop right there. Come on.
All right, Andre.
That's your job. You're not too busy to do your job.
No,
Your
no,
job is to inform people.
get it done.
So that's their job. Their job is to inform people. Their job is to investigate cases. Their job is to make arrests or whatever. Their job is to send people to jail. Hey, that's your job. You can't be too, well, I take time off my busy schedule. That's your job.
Well, believe it or not, Andre, while we were at the meeting, he had about 3 or 4 calls from people, relating to.
That is their job. They're not too busy.
Well, yes, but remember, he was educating us.
Then
And
send somebody else to handle that one.
all right, so but I just wanted to share that information with you.
Ah, most brilliant. I really love that. And that has opened the box, and I'm saying to you, you now have the authority to invite them. And if they can't make it to come here, because I know the next thing they'll tell you is that they don't have transportation. Eh? That's the next thing they'll tell you. Well, boy, Sortes is a far place. You don't have transportation to go up into there. Let them know that we can send them a link, just like we just sent you, and we could accommodate at least what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 9 persons in a conversation right here. Once everybody doing so and willing to hush and let everybody talk, we can accommodate so they can stay in their offices where they love to be.
No, these guys are always on the road. I mean, that's how we catch them. We, they stop this. I have to stop. They have to stop by the factory, and I was told that they were talking with one of the coordinators. The coordinator had happened to speak with one of them, and I told her to invite them, and so that's how they came to our session, which was very nice and very interesting.
Oh, Doc, by the way, what is the best local mixture for your rum?
Local mixture, the one I prefer is not necessarily the best, but I really love the Woodman in the golden apple juice, guava juice, and basically those two, the guava juice and the mango juice.
You have mangoes in your yard right there, and you have a guava tree right there, so that's why you use that. I know.
That's not the reason, but I love guava.
Does the tree have any guavas now? Though?
No, the crop is finished.
Oh, you need to put some soap water on that tree. Yeah, you have some blight taking the tree.
Yeah, we've been dealing with that, and
is the soap water working? I haven't tried what you told me yet. Is it working?
It works all the time. It works on citrus plants. It works on the guava. It works on hedges.
DJ, do you have problems with blight?
Yes, that's national problem. You have blights everywhere.
Okay, but what do you use?
Fungicides.
Fungicides?
To get rid of blight.
What kind of fungicide?
Broad spectrum fungicide. Go and ask for one and spray it on the affected trees. Some people use local stuff. They take things like squeezy and other things and try to spray the trees. Some people smoke blight out. They
smoke it like what?
Like you get some heap of bush and stuff like that. So. And you catch it afire and you let the smoke go through the field.
Yeah, you can't burn it without the permission of the Ministry for Agriculture.
You can ask for permission.
Yes, you could. I'm just saying you shouldn't then burn.
Yeah, so there are different mechanisms. Some people use traditional mechanisms. Some people use like the pruning of the trees, so you get light to streak through. Then you have a cover up tree. Some people use drainage, so your land is not soggy or hold water and stuff like that. So people use different methods.
That's a question I have, BJ. Sorry to interrupt you there. I'm not quite sure that the conditions you just referred to as drainage and excessive moisture and light are the specific thing, because I have seen guava trees in the broad open sunlight and there's blight in it.
Well, yeah, your guava tree in the yard there, doc. I seen it. There's blight on the guava.
But
Andre,
the light, this tree gets sunlight every
Of
day. There's
course.
sunlight.
no, there are specific crops that are
Yes.
associated with certain diseases. They more or less will attract it. So if you find that your guava tree has been affected by blight, sometimes if the blight just like to grow on that tree, provide the right kind of you know atmosphere more or less for it, the right kind of localidad for it.
No. I get your point, but it seems to me that some trees or tree crops are prone to blight more than others.
Doc, you may also find that you plant another guava tree there,
Uh,
and that specific tree is affected and the other one not affected,
so you-
because there are certain species, certain varieties that are very prone to certain diseases. For example, they have watermelon, and you may find that this one resists a particular disease, and another one, more or less, before you plant it, it's very susceptible. Tomatoes, you may find those kind of thing, that certain diseases are more or less, attracted to those kind of varieties. You have those kind of things. So
BJ, can white flies cause blight?
assume, Andre.
Because somebody's just saying that. Somebody's saying sucking insects can cause blight
Yes,
in
Andre.
sunlight, white flies.
Because they suck the nutrients from the tree, the sap, and they create that sugary substance which the blight can feed on. And sometimes they carry it with them. They move from one tree to another. They move the spores and stuff like that. It's a very complicated process. The breeze can do it too.
yeah, it's which brings me to the point, BJ and Andre, that here is where, quote unquote, our agricultural college or school ought to be able to research those specific varieties of crops that we have here, and using traditional and local available means to help with diseases such as the same blight we're talking about, which I think in some cases could be mildew, right, or mold. But the long and short is, here is where we need to understand the variety of crops we have, the diseases that affect them, and the development of local methods to deal with those problems. And again, it reminds us of the importance of an agricultural college here on the island, which can deal with those specific problems. And still, we don't have that service available to us. So this is a reminder as to why we need, another reminder as to why we need to have the agricultural college up and running. Sadly, we do not have that scientific culture in our DNA, and so we continue to suffer. But it will be of utility to all of us here in Grenada, and especially our farmers, if we can turn to the school and say, okay, look, we have this problem. Please advise me as to how best treat it, how best to deal with it. And so, yes, there might be a variety of a particular crop, some of which are less susceptible than others to the blight. But that's the kind of information, scientific information, we need to have available to our farmers.
Andre, the best mechanism of preventing, controlling disease is more or less to prevent them. More or less when you see them, the plant is already infected.
Yes.
And in a lot of cases, we plant our tree crops. We don't, we don't bother with them. We think that it just can grow normally and naturally like that, without pruning, without spraying, without fertilizing. Well, you're asking for trouble. You might get away, sometime. But trust me, Andre, it wouldn't happen all the time, because sometimes it's just not you alone. Sometimes it's your neighbor. Your neighbor have the disease, the breeze blow, he carry it over. Your farm, in a really sanitary state. Other people own, they don't care about it. They write, back to back farming. Then you have issues.
It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, triple www.drealfmgrenada.com. The time has now moved on to some 2 minutes before the 8 o'clock hour, gentlemen.
Before the
9
9
o'clock
o'clock
hour.
hour.
Gentlemen, this is where we take a pause, take a stop for a cause, we take a break. And we'll be back after the news. Doc, don't go anywhere. We missed you from last week and we want to make the most of you for this week. When I come back, Doc, though, I want to speak a bit about your production line, which is of course part of agriculture, but you never tell us about your production line at the famous Woodman factory. So we'll talk to you about that a bit, Doc, when we get back. This is Real, 91.9, 91.5, triple www.drealfmgrenadas.com. Stay with us.
Xprssions Agriculture Thursday, only on 91.9 Real FM. From the soil to your soul, we growing real. From the mountain to the sea, farmers working endlessly, planting pride in every row. Grenada's roots forever grow. Sunrise brings the harvest call, banana, nutmeg, feeding all. We salute the ones who feed with every hand and every seed. We grow real, grow Grenada, part of the land, real farmer flavor. Tune in, feel the nation rise. It's Thursday, we're proud and wise. On 91.9 Real FM style. It's Agriculture Thursday, Grenadian vibe. In the garden, in the field, real stories now revealed. Voices strong with tales to share of heritage, love, and country care. Let the young and old unite, real expression shining bright. Agriculture is the way to build tomorrow from today. We'll grow real, grow Grenada, part of the
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
Welcome to the latest update of news as produced by Triple N. We'll have the details when we return.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M&N Hardware Limited is a leader in locally manufactured aluminum windows, doors, roofing, and guttering. Our manufacturing division is efficient, flexible, and will always go the extra mile to surpass customer expectations. If you need security, sash, casement, or projected windows, we're able to do it. Our security and heavy-duty doors are state-of-the-art and can be customized specifically for you. Using innovative coating technologies and protective film, our roofing and guttering is weather-resistant, providing outstanding color retention for many years. Available in 24 and 26 gauge and a variety of color options. We are the leading company, a family that is proving to customers they can have their dream products. M&N Hardware Limited. Foundation to roof, let's build together.
Hello and welcome back. The Ministry of Education have received the first of 2 shipments of laptops designated for Form 1s and Form 2 students in public secondary schools. The newly arrived devices will undergo inspection and configuration to ensure they are fully prepared for the classroom use. Once this process is completed, the ministry will release a distribution schedule to schools and parents. The initiative reflects the government of Grenada's commitment to harnessing information and communication technology (ICT) as a tool to strengthen teaching and learning across the nation's education system. In the region in Barbados now has a junior stock exchange. All of this came from Chief Education Officer of the Small Business Association, Dr. Lynette Holder. She said the junior stock exchange originated from the innovation and growth market. It is a new project set up within the Barbados Stock Exchange with the goal of helping small business gain access to equity funding.
It is their process. It's going to take some time. The Junior Stock Exchange in Jamaica, I believe, was started around 2009 or thereabout. Today is 2025. They have about 48 companies listed, and doing very, very, very well. That took some time to develop. This also will take time. And, we're asking our stakeholders to join hands with us. Yes, put their confidence in us and in the process as we work together to make sure that we can help our small and medium enterprises to access equity financing.
Dr. Holder said the organizers have hit the ground running and the first event of the new entity is in place. The Small Business Association's CEO said the finance market has been strengthened by the presence of the new body.
The team is right now in the process of coordinating the major event, the first event, which is going to be on November 4th. Now, it's important to give a little background to this exercise. So as we work towards November 4th, 2025, we have an appreciation for what is it that we want to achieve during this event.
And in sports, Jamaica's Young Sunshine Girls have secured their spot in the quarterfinal round of the Netball World Youth Cup in Gibraltar despite going down 64-33 to England in their final preliminary stage fixture. The result means Jamaica finished second in Pool C with 6 points, while England topped the group with a perfect record of 8 points. England signaled their intent early, racing to an 18-9 lead at the end of the first quarter before stretching the advantage to 36-17 at halftime. The Young Sunshine Girls showed fight in the third quarter but still trailed 46-27 heading into the final period, where the English pulled further away to complete the 31-goal victory. With the group stage now completed, Jamaica will face Australia, winners of Pool B, in the last 8. England, meanwhile, will meet Scotland, who finished runners-up in that group. This ends the latest update of news as produced by Triple N. I am your presenter, Kira Gonpot, thanking you for joining us.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
It is said, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard Industries and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, a strength which speaks for itself. A taste which stands out from the rest. Bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your palate savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M&N Hardware Limited is a leader in locally manufactured aluminum windows, doors, roofing, and guttering. Our manufacturing division is efficient, flexible, and will always go the extra mile to surpass customer expectations. If you need security, sash, casement, or projected windows, we're able to do it. Our security and heavy-duty doors are state-of-the-art and can be customized specifically for you. Using innovative coating technologies and protective film, our roofing and guttering is weather-resistant, providing outstanding color retention for many years. Available in 24 and 26 gauge and a variety of color options. We are the leading company, a family that is proving to customers they can have their dream products. M&N Hardware Limited. Foundation to roof, let's build together.
It is said, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard Industries and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, a strength which speaks for itself, a taste which stands out from the rest, bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your palate savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Look no further than the Chameleon Design Studios, the creative powerhouse behind Key Central and dozens of standout brands across Grenada and beyond. From web designs, animations, and motion graphics to custom video productions, we bring your visions to life with unmatched efficiency and professionalism. Need a logo? Logo design starts at just $1,500, and our starter pack includes brochures, call cards, and letterheads. Whether you're launching a new business, revamping your identity, or telling your story visually, Chameleon Design Studios is the new face of designs. Call us now at 1473-422-8601 or scan that QR code. Follow us on Instagram at chameleon_473. Let's communicate. Call us today.
Hey Grenada, are you ready to take charge of your future? The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union is here to help you make it happen. Whether you're starting a savings journey, planning for education, or chasing your big dreams, we've got the tools and support you need. With savings, loans, mortgages, and expert financial advice, your goals are within reach. And for the youth of our nation, we believe in you. Let us help you build the foundation for a brighter tomorrow. Visit us at Jubilee Street, Grenville, Lucas Street, St. George, or our brand new modern spaces at Seaton Brown Street, Grenville, and Grandance. Call us on 442-8602 or stop by one of our branches at Grenville Cooperative Credit Union. We're not just securing your finances, we're investing in your future. Let's grow, dream, and succeed together. The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union. The Credit Union of Grenville, building a brighter future for you, for us, for Grenada. Classic Furniture. Our items are made from the best local wood available on island. Our products are made with love, care, and the experience we have gained over the years. Why do you even contemplate using substandard furniture, which is imported, when you can get the best made right here in Grenada? Our factory is located in the cultural village of Chantimel and our showroom on Ben Jones Street, St. Andrew. We are also noted for refurbishing that piece of furniture to its initial look. When looking for quality furniture, there is only one place to look, and that's Classic Furniture, where we take care of your needs with utmost care. So give us a call today and put your furniture woes to rest. Classic Furniture, where love and luxury is combined to provide the ultimate satisfaction. Call us today on 442-4645. Classic Furniture.
Introducing Berger Travel-On from Answer Coatings Grenada Limited. Built tough for the Caribbean climate, Berger Travel-On is your one-coat solution for long-lasting protection and a beautiful textured finish. This patent textured design is available in 3 grades: ultra-fine, fine, and coarse, and in a wide range of colors, perfect for exterior and interior walls. Quick drying, low maintenance, and cost-effective, Berger Travel-On keeps your projects on time and within budget. So whether you're building your first home or refreshing your space with that modern look, beautify and protect your investment with Berger Travel-On. Visit the Color Shop Painter Studio at Frequente Industrial Park St. George or our hardware partners nationwide today. Berger, for lasting beauty and protection.
This is Real Expressions Agriculture Thursday, only on 91.9 the mountain to the sea, farmers work.
It's real. It's 91. 12 minutes it is after the 9 o'clock hour. My name is Andrew Donald, together with Bertrand John and Dr. Francis and Twine. Yeah, we've got it all for you right here on Real 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. It's Thursday. And of course, it's Agricultural Thursday. And with me this morning, Bertrand John, of course. And with us, would have joined us maybe just about an hour ago, is none other than Dr. Francis and Twine. Now, Dr. Francis and Twine is the proprietor of the great Woodman Rum. And this morning I wanted to ask him a couple of things about rolling out, because it's all part of agriculture. It's just adding value to the product and rolling out Woodman Rum. Doc, how's the factory going these days?
We've been going fine. So far, so good. Rolling along, making the best of the situation that currently exists.
Okay.
So
I like to mind people business. Is it sales up or sales down?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
I say I like to find out, like everybody, like to find out about people business. So I'm asking you, is sales up or are sales down? Are sales up or down?
No, I think this time of the year there'll be a slight slowdown in the sales because the carnival season would be generally one of the peak periods in the season or in the year, and shortly after that there'll be a slowdown. So we are currently in that slowdown period where most of the visitors would be returning to their homelands.
Well, we spoke about having data earlier on and keeping data. And something I find, which is quite, to me, it's strange that people say that we are up there in terms of alcohol consumption or rum consumption. Do we drink that much in Grenada, Doc?
I'm not quite sure we drink that much, but what I do know, there is a significant level of exportation of our product. So if you're discussing the use of alcohol in Grenada, it's one thing. But if you're thinking of the volume of alcohol produced, which would include the exported products, then there are some doubts as to the idea that we're we consume the most alcohol. I think on average, most of our people would consume alcohol on a very moderate, at a very moderate level. There are occasions, of course, when people revel, and go off the cuffs on special occasions. But on average, most people drink responsibly.
So you don't think that we are way up there in terms of alcohol consumption as a nation?
I am not quite sure about that because I know there are other countries that use a lot of alcohol. It's just that they use it differently to how we use it, for example. One classical example would be the Japanese society, where they use a lot of alcohol in their culinary activities. And so they would have a huge volume of imported products, but most of that would tend to go into the culinary activities. Whereas we tend to be involved, for the most part, I would say, in the direct consumption, right? And there's a difference. So if you're thinking of alcohol consumption will also include the use of the said alcohol in the culinary processes.
How's Woodman doing?
Well, we're holding our end, but as I just mentioned, we are not in a slow period of sale at this point because of the high point we reached during the carnival season. Otherwise, we hang in there. We trying to do our utmost with the resources we have. One of the major problems here in Grenada is the issue of availability of two things, I would say. Financing for projects in the first instance, and then what you may call the spending power on the other hand. Those are two different sources of financing that could be obtained by any for any business. So the spending power is not necessarily there at this point in time. That's one factor. And then the availability of capital from the financial institutions or other sources is not always readily or easily available for growing an enterprise.
Have you tried? Have you tried the Grenada Development Bank, because that should be something for you right down your alley.
Well, up to yesterday morning, I was actually thinking I could approach them for some funding for packaging stuff. So that's something I'm looking at this point in time.
Speaking of packaging, the last time I came your way, Doc, I saw you had that that production line. Can I call it that? A production line?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and that was very, very, very impressive. Gone are the days for Woodman when somebody there with a funnel pouring rum in bottle. We don't doing that again in at Woodman. That is so sweet. And that, but how difficult was it for you to get that?
Like most projects, most operations, there's always some difficulties, and you'd always have headaches every now and again. But it's a lot of work, hard work, which I've learned over the years doesn't kill anyone. And as George Brizan used to tell us, the only path to success is hard work. But over the years, people seem to think working smart is a solution. And by smart means any of a number of things, including a lot of quote unquote, as we say in Grenada, skullduggery, right? Because somebody will tell you, Kenneth Lay, who once owned Enron, he worked very smart. But guess what? He could have sold a dead donkey to anyone. But I think he ended up in jail though. So yeah, working smart is an idea, but it has to be subordinate to the hard work necessary to get things accomplished. And so we got through to a lot of hard work, day in and day out, doing the necessary work to ensure that the product, we try to maintain a certain standard of the product, obtaining the raw materials and supplies from our farmers as much as we can, and then doing the necessaries to get things going. So it's been a work in progress and a lot of hard work, but that's what has brought us to where we are. And I must admit that coupled with that is my wife, who had played a very extremely important role actively, as well as supportive in getting us to where we are. Coupled with the associates who over the years have, really done the necessary work to get things going, And so today I have to acknowledge both my spouse, who's since passed, and the associates who have been the people at the heart of the project.
As you say that, Doc, what two things came to mind here. The first one is you are a rural company, and it is really good to see another rural company continuing to grow, and as opposed to and that leads to agriculture again, because when you look at what has happened to excellent farms, I don't want to go into the details, but just pointing what we can say now at this time is the demise of excellent farms. When companies like yourself stay afloat and continues to go on, agricultural based companies, it is indeed a blessing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Part of that requires, as BJ would tell you,
economies of scale. Don't tell me about that.
No, dedication.
Different word. Yeah.
You have to dedicate yourself to whatever operation or project you decide to get into. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I've observed with many of our people here is that many of them are not quite prepared to make the necessary sacrifice of their time to do the hard work necessary. So, for example, carnival time, when you should be tending to your business, you tend to be down in the partying down on the block, or on the weekends when you're supposed to be preparing materials and things together for the next week's operation, you might be out partying instead of doing the necessary work. Or in the nighttime when you're supposed to be getting your data and materials and that stuff ready for the next day, you might just go and have a drink down the road, or go on lime, or do something that is not directly related. So the hard work must be there. You must put in the necessary hard work. And in order to do that, you first have to commit yourself to what you're doing, and therefore dedicate yourself and time. And then you have to be prepared to get a lot of knocks as well, because things don't always run smooth. The best laid plans don't always go as they are laid out. Frequently you find bumps occur that force you to rethink or back, make a couple of steps back and then regroup and step forward again. So it's not a smooth and easy process. And most people who get into business tend not to be prepared for the knocks that they would incur in the process.
Okay. The other thing I had to ask, it goes back to the production line that you have. How much has that improved what you're doing as it relates to how many cases of rum can you do per day or per hour or something like that?
Significantly. Remember, when we started off, well, my initial research activities occurred in my garage, right? As we say. And then we started operation in our kitchen. And from the kitchen, we moved into a one-room operation where we did most of the production. And then from there, we went into a multi-room facility that allowed us to bring in a number of additional workers to assist with the overall production. And it was part of what we have currently is, in essence, the outcome of the growth process we've been embarked on from the very start. So we started the business knowing fully well we wanted to grow the business. We started knowing fully well that we are not in a position to outlay the vast amount of capital necessary to get where we want to. But we understood how it was important to organize ourselves to start from scratch and grow the business, as opposed to expecting the business to grow overnight. So that, for example, people tend to think that if you start a business today, you should get profits next week or next month or next year, right? Well, that's not the case. You have to make the necessary financial sacrifice. And it will take anywhere between 5, 8, 10 years before you could actually see returns that may seem satisfactory. But what I think is important in such process, and I hope the noise out there is not affecting you.
No, go ahead.
Is the necessity to always plow back whatever profit margins you experience into the business to accomplish the growth process you're looking for. And that requires a certain amount of discipline and sacrifice as well.
So
and here's where my wife was able to hold me in line.
Yeah. How many cases per hour?
We are, well, if I may tell you, at the moment we could, per hour, I could tell you this. At the moment we could do 150 cases in a couple of days,
And by your judgment, that is a lot.
No, we could do much more than that. It's just that our circumstances does not allow us. If I was to calculate it, right, as it is, we can bottle up to 460 times 4 bottles.
460 is 20. 240 bottles per hour?
Yes, that's what the machinery is capable of. So in essence, we're still underutilizing the machine. But that's where we're in the growth process. So we're trying to move to the point where we can increase the volume of our production, which is why we have all the additional equipment surrounding the bottling line there.
Somebody was saying to me about 2 weeks ago, and I forgot to tell you, wondering why is it that Woodman doesn't produce under the counter?
I understand the concept of the under the counter, but every proprietor I have met here in Grenada has his or her under the counter variety, and each one seems to differ based on what they put into the product. So the under the counter is not a standardized product in the first instance, but what we've done is to ensure that we try to maintain a high quality product and which is why we are now in the process of thinking of doing a couple of additional products, which is going to take us some time. Remember, I mentioned to you approaching the GDB, hopefully, and see if they'll be willing to fund us the purchase of some packaging materials for our next products.
Next products. Can you give us an insight into what those products may be?
Well, we are thinking of a couple of additional beverages in the first instance. And then secondly, we're looking at producing some essential oil, spice products specifically. Spices.
Spices.
Yes, like the cinnamon, like the clove, like the pimento, like the nutmeg, like name the spices we have here. Turmeric, ginger. Yeah, we have the equipment ready necessary to process those, and so we're gearing up ourselves to get there. And all that is part of the organic growth of Antoine de Beauregard Enterprises.
Okay. And what's the newest thing outside of the production line? Finally, what's the newest thing you have there?
We have the essential oil distillation still, which is a state-of-the-art piece of equipment that we are gearing up ourselves or preparing ourselves to use to do some additional research work, with the expectation that we can translate the results of that into a commercial scale factory operation down the road. It's something we're looking at very hard at this point in time. Scaling up of the essential oil production.
Someone is asking, spices are local or from
local spices? Local spices. Local spices.
All your spices are local.
Yeah, our aim basically is to work towards maximizing the use of the resources we have. Let me just point out a few things to us, Andre, to our audience there. We're familiar with the cinnamon, the clove, the ginger, the turmeric, and some of us may be familiar with pimento. Grenada once upon a time was producing and used to export vanilla. That's something we have been experimenting with until Beryl tore up the vines. So we have to rehabilitate that. But we also have some herbs that are useful as spices. For example, you might heard of something called sugar dish.
Yeah.
That's a sage plant, right? And sage is used as a spice for flavoring meats and so. And that's something we overlook, for example. You know that some people use the lemongrass for making herbal teas. But how many of us thought of using the same sage to make herbal tea? Then we also have the same, the very bitter one we call Zebapic.
Yeah, Zebapic. Yeah.
How many of us thought of putting that together with some other product to make some medicinal supplemental product that can be used for people with severe colds or to help prevent the oncoming of colds? Remember, our farmers used to use a lot of herbal teas. Well, we call it bush tea in Grenada, right?
Yeah.
As part of the daily food, daily intake. And that, in essence, provided a lot of preventative medical measures for them. So why this? It's a major reason why many of our farmers were barely ever sick. One, they exercised, they did a lot of walking. Two, they took preventative medicinal beverages. And three, they understood the importance of taking care of their health by eating very healthy foods. They didn't go and buy the off-the-shelf foods to
It wasn't available. It wasn't available. They couldn't buy it. They either eat what they had or stay hungry.
Well, that too. But remember, they understood the importance of natural foods. In fact, I remember a few medical students in North America saying to me, they're surprised to see the high quality of food Grenadans eat. And that's one of the things they enjoyed when they were here in Grenada. Well, they were no longer students then. When I spoke to them, they already graduated as medical doctors. But they did do their training here in Grenada, and they made reference to the fact that as a people, the food we eat, the local foods we eat, are very healthy foods. So that's something we need to cherish. And again, here is where, for example, if we have a better scientific culture would appreciate more the things we have and therefore make greater use of them. And so hence
Doc,
we,
Doc,
sorry.
have you heard of anything locally available more bitter than Zebapic?
Not that I am aware of, but what I do know, there are a couple of herbs we have here that have a fairly sweet character to them. And I make reference to that because I know stevia is obtained from a plant,
Yeah.
originally from Africa. There is something called warbane as well, also a plant in Africa that also has a sweet character. And I think we have a couple of plants here that do have a sweet character, but we have not taken time off to understand those plants and probably make use of them as sweeteners because some people are diabetic.
No, I'm talking about bitter.
Now, in the case of bitter, the only thing, well, let me just explain to you. I haven't seen anything bitter than the Zebapic, but there is a beverage that's made of 56 different fermented herbs. And somebody said to me, the thing is very bitter. And believe me, when I tasted
Is
it,
it local?
No, it's not local.
No, I'm talking locally, but
I know I'm using.
there
Sorry?
is a local a tree bark. A tree bark. I'm not sure if I have a piece of it home, but it's called bitter ash. I've never seen the tree, but based on what I have been told, the tree is available in St. David's and in St. Patrick. And I have tasted bitter Zebapic.
Yes.
And Zebapic can't hold candle to bitter ash.
Well, you must share a piece of that with me because I'm not.
Yeah, I will get someone make sure that you have that. Doc, it's the thing. You take the thing and you just take the bark like that and you immerse it in water.
Okay.
For about 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then forget that in the doc. You don't want to see that cup again. You don't. So that thing is so bitter. And it's a tree bark. I've never seen the tree, but there are people who I know of two persons who would be able to get me some, and I'll get you some. As a matter of fact, I was advised by a gentleman who has since passed. He used to work at the Lower Mali nutmeg pool. He is the one who introduced me to it.
Okay.
And he said to me that it can be used to drop your diabetes.
The blood sugar.
The blood sugar level, yeah. It can be used for that.
No, I have not heard about the bitter ash, but I'd certainly like to experience it. And
yeah, it's the bark of the tree.
Yes,
That's what it is, the bark of the tree. So I would arrange for you to get some of that and for you to do some experimenting on it to see how bitter that thing is and probably take it from there. You never know. We may have a find right there.
That's quite possible. That's quite possible. The other thing, the only thing I taste that would be bitter here that I'm familiar with would be something like the Bourbon, for example, has a bitter taste to it. And
men don't taste bitter when it comes to Bourbon. They taste nothing bitter. BJ will only taste and say, "Yeah, that's nice."
and then I think the grapefruit peel has a bitter taste to it.
Yes, it does.
Which is one reason why most people tend not to use the grapefruit peel as a herbal tea. So instead they use the orange peel. But believe you me, the grapefruit peel could be more medicinal of greater medicinal potency.
Mm-hmm.
But all have their benefits, because each one of those would have the various range and concentrations of almost the same compounds,
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of the intensity or a concentration of one compound or a few compounds in one product as opposed to the other. So yeah, the only thing I've tasted as the most bitter of all stuff is the Zebapic. And by the way, the Zebapic holds its bitterness even when it's dried and it's held for months.
Dr. Antoine, Zebapic can't hold candle to what I'm telling you about.
All right, I look forward to the challenge.
There's one guy from your village, Philip, as in Alexander.
Yes.
Yeah, I introduced Philip to that bitter ash thing, and every time he comes to Saturday, he wants some more.
Really?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, and I even gave some to former Senator Diali, and every time he sees me, he wants some more. So
All
it
right.
must be something in it
I
as it
suspect you're
relates
right.
to blood sugar, because I have that problem too, that blood sugar level problem. And when I use it, I can tell you I really have to be very careful because I'm on meds. I have to be very careful when I use it because it will just drop it down too low.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But I get some for you so you
I look
can
forward
try.
to it. I look
Yeah.
forward to it.
I believe some of the guys put it in the under the counter too. I just believe that happens.
It's quite possible because they put a wide range of material in the on the counter. Under the counter.
Before you go this morning now, what's the whole thing on deer horn being added to this thing?
Personally, I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is that the horns, for the most part, have a lot of keratin in them, which is a protein type compound.
Beta carotene?
No, not beta carotene.
Oh.
Keratin.
Oh, keratin. Oh,
Yeah,
keratin. Okay.
the thing that makes your nails kind of hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know anything as regards the medicinal properties or allegations relating to.
Well, I guess if it makes the nails hard, it might make the nail hard too.
I heard you. Well, we don't know. And again, here is where if we had a research institute or center,
goes right back to that.
We could investigate those things because if it applies to the deer horn, maybe the same property could be applied to the cow horn or the goat horn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the deer and the goat, they're family, so there shouldn't be much difference in the horns.
Well, hope you like to think so.
Yeah.
You like to think so.
BJ, I'm going to ask BJ about the new the new lab at Maribor. BJ, what's the latest on that?
Which lab?
The lab at
tissue culture lab.
Oh, you tell me Sci Lab.
No, the tissue culture lab.
I don't know, Andre. I haven't been hearing about it, waiting for information. Andre, just to comment, and then I probably can disappear. So Leon, Doctor, finish, continue this important discussion. The first one is I want to go right back on the whole aspect of being patient, of being tolerant, of having to wait. In a lot of cases, people have businesses and they wanted to make money overnight, and it generally don't happen. It may happen in one or two cases, but generally don't happen. The second thing I want to talk about, listening to you on Doc here, there seems to be so much opportunities that can be created in the whole aspect of processing and research. We're just not capitalizing on it. And I'm saying that here we are. We are looking at a government job. We are looking at a job here, there, everywhere. And we basically can train our people to basically become millionaires, become extremely rich by just doing research. And you could imagine that we find something that works very well for say high blood pressure or sugar, and we find some plant that we can extract certain alkaloids or whatever, and really come up with something that we can keep it natural or synthesize it, and all of a sudden we patent it, and we have millionaires. We have a whole industry that can develop from that. There are opportunities, we're just not doing the right thing. Morning, Grenada. Morning, Andrew. Morning, Doc.
I was just about to ask you about the both of you. I want to ask you what happened to the stun gun at the abattoir in Maribor, Doc?
I'm not familiar with that story.
We don't slaughter animals there again.
Well, yeah, they do, but word has it that somebody stole the stun gun.
So how we kill, how we stun the animals?
I don't want to say, because I don't want them to say I caused the Grenadian people to lose thingy. But somebody stole. Based on information received, it points to somebody stealing the stun gun.
That's
Or
kind of
was it
strange.
misplaced, Andre? Could it have been misplaced?
Could it have been misplaced?
Yeah.
Well, Doc, you could be very diplomatic, you know. Misplaced and thief is the same thing.
Andre, Andre, you
Yeah.
actually stopped me in my track.
That's top in your track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One final thing, and then I go. Um, s- you know, experiences like what Doc have had, and the whole, how you would have started off, where you reached today, how much people he implied. Why can't I see a documentary on that? Why we not turn on the television? I cannot see something basically outlining the whole historical background of Woodman and where we are today. How are we
Because to
expect,
do something like that costs money.
Andre? We have a lot of money, we'll
We
take
do?
22 million and light up the sky with it, like with starlight and thing, You're telling me we don't have plenty money? Have a good morning, Grenada. Take care. Bye.
Go and handle the bananas and the planting, harvesting today. Have a nice day, BJ. Take care. sir. BJ is gone, friends. BJ has left the building, if you'd want to put it like that. So next week, God's willing, we will be able to hear again from Bertrand John. Right here on Real 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. Let me just do a double check here and see if I can bring in this. Okay, transition into that. Let me see if Doc is still there. Let's go back and check and see. Oh yeah, Doc is still there. So wait, I'm here still with Doc for the next 18 minutes or so. Doc, but it is phenomenal. Your growth. How many years now?
Well, we into our 16th year overall, but the Woodman will be 15 years next year.
Next year. But it's amazing the amount of growth that you have had in that company, meaning in Woodman, what the things that you've been able to do. Some stop, some stagger a bit, but most of all, the Woodman continues. And you say rolling out soon will be essential oils?
We would like to get there, but we're not able to do that because we have a number of logistical issues on our hand that we need to deal with as we go along, including the packaging issue.
Yeah, and I was about to say, but Development Bank could really help you here.
Well, I would hope. The challenge, the concern I have about this, the Grenada Development Bank is, you approach them and you would assume that they'd make it easy to lend you $5, But I see $5, but $100,000.
Yeah,
$100,000. But the way they turn you inside out, upside down, just to find out every little aspect of yourself, and then to give you that money, and you don't always get what you're looking for because they'll tell you, well, you have to produce a certain percentage of the amount you need, which is fine. But by golly, make it easy so that people can get the necessary funding to invest. And what is interesting is, Andre, is that people going to buy consumable products like motor vehicles, for example, and they easily get the loans that they're requesting. And you going to get the similar amount of money or maybe a little more to do an investment in an enterprise that would bring about some employment. And it's more difficult for you to get a loan,
But
and
it's
therefore the
interesting,
question
Doc, that they take the loan to buy the vehicle, and the vehicle really and truly can't buy them the equipment. But if they get the money for the equipment could buy them the vehicle. But it's easier for them to get the money to buy the vehicle. This is kind of crazy. Yeah? We live in a kind of world.
Well, yeah, assets tend to do have some multiplying effects with them. They allow you to leverage a number of additional things.
Did you see
and so,
these? Did you see these?
Yeah, you should eat one of those every day, and one or two of those at least every morning.
Well, I'm going to eat one right now. They were just given to me by Butch and John.
Well, you are lucky, man. Have one for me.
That means I would have to have 3.
That's okay. You wouldn't die from that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have one now, one lunchtime, and one supper time.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, the challenge, but nothing is wrong with that, because while I understand the need for the financial institutions to protect themselves from risks, at the same time, the things they put priority on and give greatest value seems to be, in my opinion, misplaced. So I hope at some point in time there can be some reconciliation with the people making applications for loans to do businesses. But there's another side to it.
Yeah.
One other thing, that if you're the development bank together with the GIDC, I would suggest, should probably come up with an institution or academy where they train people to become entrepreneurs, so that they have courses available for people wanting to get into business.
Mm-hmm.
And each course would be a module. So like they could have a module on finance, they could have a module on the planning, they could have a module on marketing, etc. But those courses should be readily available for people wanting them, so that I know every month or every 6 months or every 3 months they have a course on finance, so I could send 1 or 2 persons from my enterprise to do the training. Or if I'm a a person just trying to get into business, then I know I need to schedule myself to attend all the courses pertinent to business. So that'll be including writing a business plan. It will include financing and data keeping. It may include spreadsheet data processing, or it might include marketing. It might be the question of brokerage service. It might be include legal issues, etc., etc. But those courses should be made readily available for our people interested in wanting to get business, because one of the major problems we have here is too many of our people start small cottage enterprises, and then they're not able to move forward, in part because they don't have the necessary knowledge to move the business forward, 1, and 2, couple that with the difficulty of obtaining finance. And 3, people who want to invest with you tend to say, okay, well, if I'm going to invest with you, I want to see my money back in 1 year. Well, that doesn't happen. You cannot invest money today and expect it back tomorrow, which is the point BJ was making.
Well, yeah, BJ must make that point, because all indications point to one of the reasons for the failure of Excellent Farms is because people who had the money and went into the business with the gentleman, in little or no time they requested their monies back, and that started the demise of Excellent Farms. That, of course, is for another story, because that is agriculture, and we have to do so and deal with it one of these days. And the big question: what caused Excellent Farms to dive like that? So much so that some of their chickens are running wild in the Mount Rose area. So just now you might have a special breed of chickens up there. You never know, because they more than likely might crossbreed. And
which is quite likely. But maybe this is a case study that we need to pursue, so as to learn the necessary lessons. So if you say the funders were partly responsible for the demise, then it explains why, if you or anyone interested in investing in any enterprise, should be prepared to bear the gestation period, be it 5 years, 3 years, 8 years, 10 years. And they should understand that's a necessary part of the process. And if they do not understand that, then they shouldn't get into the investment. which is why frequently entrepreneurs tend to turn to financial institutions. And again, financial institutions can partner with both GDB and GIDC if they want to set up a training institution and provide expert training and courses or classes, a module dealing with the question of obtaining loans or writing proposals or other things like that. So there could be a whole suite of courses available for people wanting to get into business, as well as for people already in business, because there are some aspects of business I still trying to I have to learn a lot about, or and so there are a number of things that we as a society, we do not have the infrastructure in place to encourage and support the people getting into business so that their business can grow. And I think that's a necessary thing that needs to be addressed by the Ministry of Commerce. Do we have a Ministry of Commerce here, or the Ministry of Planning, or the Ministry of Finance, or somebody like that?
I think there's a Ministry of Trade.
Trade would have to be one of those courses that would have to be taught at that level, because exporting would be one module that should be taught.
I'm just showing off my bananas. That's all. No?
So that people who get into any business could have an additional export market.
Yeah.
In other words, you shouldn't just focus your marketing on the domestic market, because the Grenada's economy, the market is very small, and if you really want to grow, you have to consider the external market as well. So yeah, there's a whole range and scope of things that we ought to be doing, and we're just not doing it. And we're not doing it because there's a lack of initiative in the first instance, and then there is a lack of implementation or development of ideas into plans. And if we write up a plan, or we have a plan, then we should ensure that the plan gets implemented. But that's where we fall down. Ideas, everybody walks around with books in their heads, but not many of us write the books, So we have to move to that stage where we can begin to write the books and have the plans we have in our heads written down and implemented.
The bananas are lovely, Doc. The bananas are lovely.
They're not just lovely, Andre. They're very nutritious. And let me just add one thing here for banana farmers. Bananas are rich in potassium. And potassium is an essential element for the overall blood physiology. And it helps to prevent cramps. So those of us who experience cramps every now and again.
I do.
I
do.
So start eating a banana a day and you'll begin to experience a difference. Couple that with the fact that is rich in vitamins and other minerals.
I just ate 2, so that's one for today, one for tomorrow, right?
Yes. No, that's one for today. You eat 2, that's one for today. That's only for today. Tomorrow, eat another 2.
Okay.
And here is where we can revive our banana industry, by having everybody eating a banana a day. That will help to keep the doctor away. Not that we shouldn't visit the doctor, but it's one preventative measure we can take to improve and maintain our good health.
The Grenada Food and Nutrition Council. I see, because I look at other things, I see them doing different things, and I say to them, hey, no matter your government says don't advertise it, Andre, you don't have to advertise. All you have to do is to send the stuff and we'll play it for the people to hear, because it's our intention to ensure that we have a healthy nation. So I'm asking, if you know them, Doc, if you see them, say, hey, send your stuff by Andre. He wouldn't charge because he loves the country. Let's see if you see them. Ask them that, please, because there's so many things you can do with bananas. And I would love a situation where, for all banana producers, for their benefit, if when children go to, could you imagine how many children do we have in schools, Doc? How many children we have in school?
I do not know, because I ask a similar question.
Mm-hmm.
How many students we have graduating every year?
Every year?
Yes. How many students we have graduating from secondary schools and TAMCC who are looking for jobs?
That's over. Has to be.
No, let's not guess. Let's not try to guess.
That's over 3,000-4,000.
Well, I wish I knew.
Yeah,
I'd like to know. And
but imagine, Doc, if let us suppose that in Grenada we have 9,000 students, yeah?
Yes.
Attending school. 9,000 students attending school. And these students, every day, they are given a banana from the government. And going back to that, from the government. So the government pays for the bananas, have them ripened by marketing board. Then at least you give marketing board more work. They have them ripened by marketing board, and these bananas go to the schools like every afternoon or every other afternoon when they need them, so that they're there for the morning period and children turn out, and every child has to eat a banana, one banana every day. Now, while that makes a healthy nation, it makes a wealthy nation because everybody getting paid down the line, the farmer, the workers at marketing board, and everybody else. Isn't that a lovely thing we can do?
I think it's a great idea, but let me just supplement or complement your point.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine what would be the outcome if we were to complement that one banana per student, per child in the school with one glass of fresh goat or cow's milk and one egg every day? Could you imagine the degree and level of intelligent students will be turning out from our institutions?
But there you go.
Students who ultimately would be the people who would solve our social and economic problems down the road.
But the goats and the pigs and whatever that they brought in, Doc, they can't think again because I understand that they overweight.
Well, again, here is where husbandry and training would be essential. It doesn't make sense giving a man a tool and you don't teach him how to use the tool. And then if you don't teach him how to use the tool, you have to provide him some literature that he can read and learn how to use the tool. And so it's a folly to provide animals to farmers and not provide training for them. Not only that, ensure that they have the necessary materials and feed and services to ensure the well-being and development of the animals. Couple that with the need to ensure that we have reproduction for the continuity of that variety of animal or plant down the road.
Well, we cannot continue the program, Doc, because time is up.
We'll continue next week. I thank you very much for the opportunity.
And thanks for accepting the request. We'll do same again next week, God's will.
I'll try my utmost. If not, I'll just come up.
Oh, okay then. Great.
I'll try. I can't guarantee that one yet. Let me see.
No. We'll send you the link. It was beautiful this morning.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a great one.
Take care, sir. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. Andre Donald saying goodbye from the agricultural program for today, Thursday. It was really and truly a joy being with you this morning. And as I like to say, as always, I like to say just like this, man gone.
Banana nutmeg feeding on.